Hello, hello, salut. I am the Rostowich. Here's where we learn the way of the Yansway Rasta, which is to say, my kind of ital. Please subscribe and begin your own kind of Yansway witchcraft. All roads lead to Rome. Home. Hi, how you doing? Okay, so if uh if you've watched my playlist on The Lion King, yeah, you can see where I go over my opinion a little bit about the Israeli-Hamas conflict. Um, I touch on it a little bit on the Bible discussions playlist. Um, so it's just I try to make an example of the current problems, which is the Israeli-Hamas conflict. And really the same things happening in Russia with Russia and Ukraine, but and by applying Sloss, the principles taught by Sloss, assuming that you've listened to the entire Bible discussions playlist and all the way through to the Lion King playlist to there, where it's kind of at the end of that. And I say that we need to keep in focus, to remain neutral, and that we should use the authority of the UN and do things on an international level and not on a Israel and US or allies type level. But if something needs to be done, Israel and America, the US, needs to do it through the UN, and we need to stop harming ourselves by helping other people in our own name, and do things through a lot more futuristic, progressive line of authority. And so that's the priority from a Yansway Rostowich perspective. At least my own kind of Yansway Rostowich perspective, because everything's a perspective. But now more time has passed. At first I put lots of emphasis on that, and then it's like a part 1, part 2, part 3, applying Selassie videos on. By the third one, I'm like, oh yeah, let's go get Hamas. They've crossed the line. They've beheaded babies and stuff, and just like, what the hell? Killing grandmas and grandpas, and it's just too much, So with this video, just like I wanted like my update now that I've had more time to absorb it and more has happened. First it was talked about that the U.S. would help Israel, and now a whole bunch has happened, and they've done just that. They've gone to go get Hamas. It just shows the ugliness of war. It hasn't worked out very good, has it? They've killed plenty of Palestinians. In this case, Hamas equals terrorist, Palestinian equals civilian. And so they've killed lots of Palestinians, aka civilians, And I just an incoming call came. I'll just have to call him back. That like never happens, but anyway, so maybe if I decline it, there, it's out of the way. Okay, so what's happened is U.S. wanted, they said, let's have like a ceasefire and give the Palestinians some more time to get out of there. Because if you heard Biden's speech, that was his priority, was not to hurt the Palestinians. The Palestinians, it's just the horror of their situation is basically like an apartheid. It's all just a perfect example of how ugly religion is. Like there's this Jewish rabbi that I've listened to, and I've even talked about him a little bit to you guys, that he lost a little respect when he talked about transgender people. It's like, oh, can't you just, if all these people are listening to you, can't you just like research it? Dang, science is a conspiracy type thinking, like the religiosos always do when something's different than what their religion says. But now he's just really gotten ugly. He's like all, just like, I've just lost all respect for him. I can't listen to him now. He's just, yeah, let's go get Palestinian, He doesn't, there's not a difference between Hamas and Palestinians with him, and he does the pedestrians, he doesn't use that word either. It's just, let's go get these guys and this is our land. We have a right to it based on our book of fables. You know, it's like, oh my hell, would you cut that out? He even tried to say that Hamas is a word that's in there, that because there's I guess a Hebrew word that says Hamas is the Hebrew word, but it doesn't. When Hamas calls himself Hamas, it's not the same word, you know. And he said, well, to me, it's the same, and that's obvious by current events, and it's just oh my hell. Just he's just and he just keeps putting out more and more videos trying, you know. It's you know, it's just gotten real ugly, and now U.S. has brought a nuclear submarine to the area and everything. I don't know what they usually keep that a secret. I don't know what they're planning on doing with that, but you know, it's just completely ugly, and war just doesn't work. You know, the only thing that works is for people, because these people represent religions, you know, but they're not religious people. What needs to happen is the religious leaders need to stop being narcissistic. You know, the real problem is the narcissist epidemic, and they need to realize that their religion actually teaches to forgive and to cooperate and to have compassion and empathy and to share and to, you know, a bunch of things that need to happen so that this can go away, you know. It's just and like you'll notice, like, because fascism has been on the right, the extreme right wing, aka fascism, authoritarianism, for people that are all just not fascism, you know. And I don't care, you know. It's, to me, it's all fascism. Is on the rise in Europe and America. You'll see that, like, whenever you watch a video done by someone that's a liberal or a leftist thinker, you notice that all the advertisements, like when it breaks to advertisement on YouTube, they're always right winger advertisements. How come there are no left wing advertisements? You know, it's because the right wing, they're the ones that have the microphone. They're the ones that get to be represented and everything. All the left wingers are just independent people, you know, just doing the best they can, like me, you know. But the right wing propaganda is everywhere, because propaganda is a big part of fascism. And it's also because they have the money. Of course, if the leftists had more money, there would be leftist advertisements, you know. But we're not trying to sell things, for one thing. And, you know, it's just like, so it's the same in Europe, you know, and in Italy with, what's her name, Meloni, and, you know, Georgina Meloni or whatever, and everything. So, like, what the Rastas say, 12 Tribes of Israel, founded by Prophet Gad, with emphasis on the Bible and the Herbert Armstrong, pointed the Herbert Armstrong direction. And I'll leave a link in the description box that'll tell you exactly, charted out, what that perspective says is going to happen and who's going to do it and everything. According to all that, the nutshell is that Europe will all unite, and other people from around the world that is of a red themed, you know, of a right wing fascist type mentality, and it's everywhere around the world. It's a worldwide problem, you know. The religion of fascism, the religion of narcissism with the narcissist epidemic is fascism. You know, that's the religion of narcissism. You know, that religion has really grown. The mark of that beast, 666, is in their heads, it's in their thinking, it's on their hands, it's in their doing. And the mark of the beast, that's what it is, you know, and that's what you see. Of course, the people that wrote the biblical prophecies, they didn't mean for them to represent things that are happening today. They thought it was going to be just after Jesus, but, you know, they were sealed until the time of the end, you know, and only the Lion of Judah could do that. And only Haile Selassie identifies as the Lion of Judah. So only through understanding why Haile Selassie is the Lion of Judah can you bring in the chronology and everything. But at the same time, you also add in all this tendency towards progress and modernity, and the Bible ends. That's why it's the end times. You're like, oh, this is an out-of-date concept, and you move on to the next level, you know, through the life story of Haile Selassie. And that's what we need. We need to apply all those things. Are the Reds going to come and get us on our own soil, like the movie Red Dawn? Well, according to Herbert Armstrong, yeah, that's what's going to happen. And so you should expect, and the Pope is going to head that. Of course, when the original fascists took over Italy with Mussolini, the Pope, now all this history is surfaced that the Pope, was the mastermind of all that, and the Pope's going to, according to this prophecy from this perspective, is going to mastermind that, a red theme from headed at the UN and with the Pope and all the other countries coming in. And you can see these things happening. I hope that it's not the case, because the Bible's a bunch of BS, really. And I hope it happens a different way. But the truth remains that those things prepared the way, like John the Baptist prepared the way for Jesus. The Bible and Herbert Armstrong and all these things prepared the way for the life of Haile Selassie, which teaches of no such thing, just that how we should modernize our thinking about religion and about using the UN and these things. And that's what I really care about. And that's still what I care about. Hamas, the question is, can we really get Hamas without hurting any more of these Palestinian, aka pedestrians?